Meghan Markle in 2019, the royal baby's en route, but the Duchess Courtliness is under scrutiny. We should think of Meghan Markle's assimilation into the British royal family as a slow, endless debate in real time, between the yin of a well-lived commoner's life and the yang of British royal duty. It's important to remember that the former television actress and lifestyle blogger wasn't born to this stuff, meaning the exquisitely detailed royal rigor, from the way one crosses one's ankles, not one's legs, to the proper buckling of a girth as one's trusty fox hunter is saddled for a day's hack. Provided, of course, that one already knows how to ride. All that, and much, much more has to be laid into the Duchess now, and brought to a fine, natural sheen. The process is by no means complete, which makes it such good sport to watch. Being a British royal, and the possibly tougher project of becoming one, is more than just getting a crisp new topcoat and toning down the physical gestures in public so that your body never exceeds the invisible yet fairly stiff boundaries of the permissible sheath of royal movement in public, although it is also all of that. The sheath, so to speak, lends the ceremonial appearances of the royal family their winning, thousand-year monarchy sense of occasion and formality. We never see the Queen swinging her arms wide at anything. Because she doesn't. With the exception of her few heartwarming violations of the physical code by hugging members of the public, usually children, it's fair to say that Britain's newest Duchess has fully mastered the ankle crossing, the deep curtsy to her husband's grandmother, and the delicate, dinning air of the royal wave. Ms. Markle is hopeful and generous in public, if a bit tentative about having to rein in her ingrained actressing, so that she can seem well out of her depth at enormous state functions, such as the laying of the wreaths at the cenotaph in memoriam to the British boys who died in World War I last November. And it's all part of her charm. We don't know whether she's flawlessly parsed the blizzard of forks and knives at a place setting, to say nothing of the menu, which is always in French at the Queen's formal dinners. But the Duchess' very honed social skill set and her eagle-eyed courtiers will set all that minor protocol right, if any of it needs setting. Brexit or no, it's going to help her to have French sooner rather than later, and not just to parse Her Majesty's menus. Her Spanish is apparently good, if arguably American en route. Unless she's lisping those pesky Spanish sibilants properly, the Duchess will be having an uphill slog doing the cocktail chatter with Harry's distant Bourbon cousins currently ruling Spain. Put another way, the inexorable royalization of the Duchess of Sussex is going to be a long, if not a lifelong, job of work. As of today, she's safely extracted herself and her husband from the landed gentry rigors of Christmas with her husband's grandmother at Sandringham and is on a yet undeclared, by Kensington Palace, holiday elsewhere. But if there's one thing to say about her long process of assimilation now, it's that the purported honeymoon the Duchess of Sussex was enjoying in the British Ivy mind and in the take-no-prisoners royal watching pages of Fleet Street will be coming to its end. She'll be cut a small, loving break by Fleet Street in the coming weeks, leading up to the birth of her royal offspring in March, but the Duchess' life in the spotlight will be a lot longer, more granular, and more unforgiving than that. The social intimacies and stresses thereof, at work in the court of St. James will be Ms. Markle's major test in the onrush of her coming years in the royal family. First, the court has been around for a millennium, so it knows how to be a court. Which is another way of saying, currying royal favor is a sport that has been honed to perfection over the last 1,000 years. No social move is without its consequences, but in the court of St. James, even the tiniest moves are magnified by the court and the press, beyond their proportion, if not outright regarded badly from the get-go. It's best to take the long view in family adjustments, and it's also clear that Ms. Markle's warm acceptance into the fold has constituted an extraordinary effort on the part of the royals, from the Queen on down, to make her feel at home. But, for that, the royals and the court itself will expect more than a modicum of return, in the form of proper royal deportment. Meaning, as in every other family, it's pay to play. The dead weeks around the holidays are the time when the royals disport themselves most personally, with the action centered around the roaring hearts and intimate country house traditions of Sandringham, the Queen. The Windsors shoulder up, as many of us do, for an extended holiday with Granny. For a rank, if intimate, outsider such as Meghan Markle, to be crammed cheek by jowl into Sandringham with the now very large jumble of cousins, uncles, aunts, and their spouses and offspring means that she's thrust into the heart of the court without the same British-born toolkit as everybody else. Thus it was with palpable delight that the London royal watchers keenly reported that the brand new Duchess of Sussex retreated from her fashionable 2017 non-hunting stance and allowed Harry to participate in the Queen's traditional Boxing Day pheasant shoot. The issue very much locked in the British sporting and Fleet Street Harvey mind from Christmas 2017 was that Harry stood down from the 2017 hunt, at his then future wife's request, it was thought. Whether it was at her request or done to please her by her then husband-to-be isn't actually known, and doesn't matter. But Harry's absence from the field last year did reportedly surprise and disappoint Sandringham's gamekeepers and shooting masters. They were holding their breath for 2018, and were rewarded with their prince. That field crisis is all done with now, if it ever existed. The Duchess of Sussex did, also this year, attend the traditional jolly mid-hunt lunch with the Queen and the rest of the family at the Royal Lodge near the pheasant fields. She didn't shoot or gather the fallen pheasant as the Queen likes to do, but good old Harry is at least back in the field bringing down brace after brace, and in the Sandringham gamekeepers' minds, all's right with the world. It was a tiny kerfuffle, but worth looking at for the lesson of give and take within the royal family. For her part, the Duchess of Cambridge and a future Queen of England, Kate, has taken to shooting with gusto, and has invested in a new 20-gauge, no doubt bespoke and no doubt from an esteemed English smith. She swings it quite well, in fact. In other words, as roughly 1,000 years of their forebears did, Wales and Harry have all the beloved pastimes of English country life laid deep in the DNA. This will not change in this family, no matter what sort of newcomer marries in. Harry's reportedly shopping for a new gun dog. Thus, going forward in the grand project of the Duchess of Sussex assimilation, there are 3 new sporting disciplines for 2019 and beyond that Meghan Markle might do well to start learning more about: rod, gun, and horse. Arguably easiest for her to enjoy will be the fishing, although the salmon and trout fishermen of England and Scotland would debate the ease of their pastime. Because of Harry's St. Paul charity team, she will already be speaking slightly fluent polo. But that's a long, long way from the gritty real English country deal of care for the horse and the gun. This will be more daunting and take more time. She may not be a real Windsor Royal, but she'll have plenty of courtiers to help with that.